She stood in shock until she heard steps of someone walking towards her from the back. It was a vampire. He wanted to suck her blood, but a red car turned on its headlight and scared the vampire away. Shauna was afraid she might turn into a vampire, so she covered all her windows with papers and decided to not sleep that night. The next morning, her dad came in and removed the newspaper from the window and ordered her to sleep. Shauna was amazed at how she hadn't turned into a vampire, even though a ray of light shone at her. She went to Pedro to explain what happened to her. Pedro, on the other hand, laughed at her and told her that she was delusional as vampires didn't exist. She told him they probably left her alone before she felt she had a home because they kept on sucking blood of the other homeless man. Then Pedro thought that if they were after homeless and crackheads, they would be all over Umbro. They both decided to visit Denise. When they got to her, they saw that she had changed into a vampire. She wanted to attack Shauna, but she opened the window at her and the ray of light shone at her. She got burned and fell out of the window. The police didn't know what to name Denise dead, whether it was a suicide, accident, or murder, but Shauna knew it was a murder and she promised to take revenge on whoever was responsible. Her mother was buried. After the funeral, Stephen took Shauna to where they stayed before the storm. Told her when the storm came, her mother was pregnant with her. And she does say Shauna was a miracle baby. She says Shauna saved her from dying. Stephen encouraged her to remain strong and they hugged. Before attacking the vampires, she needs to get more information about them first, so she visited Grande, a leader of the Vampires Club, and she asked some of them questions she needed to get answered and got to know some materials needed to kidnap and threaten a vampire. She asked Pedro to get her stuff while she goes home to get something. When she got home, she saw Chris at the door. Chris was sent by his mother to drop some food for the mourning family. Chris encouraged her that if they find out who killed their mother, he has their back and would fight with them. She told him okay and bid him bye. Immediately, she remembered she needed a team to conquer the vampires, so she told him she knew who killed her mother, so they went to Umbro together. At the housing, they met Pedro. She had a mini introduction to both of them. Pedro asked why they brought him along, and she told him they needed a team to conquer. So they went to the isolated room where she saw a vampire the first time she got to Umbro, and they searched the room. They couldn't find Marvin, the homeless vampire. Suddenly, Marvin jumped at Shauna's back. He attacked them, but were unable to subdue him. She threatened him by injuring him with garlic. She asked him who turned her mother. Although he hesitated to answer, he told them it was Lefrak. She told them Lefrak is turning homeless people and drug addicts into vampires to form an army. She asked for the location of Lefrak. Marvin told them. He also told them the red car that flashed light when Shauna was being attacked was Lefrak's car. He probably realized she wasn't home and she would be missed if she goes missing. Marvin also told them that there is a theory that if Lefrak is killed, they would all turn back into human.